do this? Apollo was acting up, running around this damn room when I was doing your read. I gotta do it a little over again. My neighbor's spying. Psych. Alright. So your oracle card for the next 7 days is inner duality. Duality, light and shadow, integration, acceptance, wholeness, conflicting aspects, authentic power, self-awareness. True wholeness arises not from choosing sides, but from courageously embracing the vibrant dance of opposites within. You're learning how to integrate both of your light and your shadow. You might be working on this now, Pisces. The Fool card. You have a new beginning that's coming. It may already be here. Okay? Your world is shifting in some type of way. Okay? And you may have... Okay, so you may have been at a standstill over time in regards to possibly picking a side, light and dark, or whatever this shit is, okay? Where you're feeling very, very conflicting with him. Like, you're very empathetic, all right? You're very intuitive. But it's like now you're starting to accept that you have both shadow and light aspects of yourself. Okay? And with that being said, because you're realizing here that you have both aspects, you're having a new beginning with the Fool card in the upright. Okay? It's like the light is starting to come out as you're accepting who you are. It's like who you are authentically, okay? And you may have been somebody here that didn't know who they truly were growing up, okay? A lot of it has to stem from your childhood of you not really knowing who you were, because your childhood may have been full of like ups and downs. And you've seen dark aspects, you've seen also light aspects, but more of it was more of like the darker side. With the Six of Cups here, this is coming out because the way that you're able to find out how to integrate both of these aspects, your light and your shadow, is that you should meditate on it. Is you going back to your childhood, doing some, you might have to do some shadow work. Well, you are working on your shadow. Somebody here is working. This is a shadow message, all right? You're still working on your shadow, and you're doing a lot of healing. You're realizing here that you have light and shadow aspects of yourself. With the Six of Cups card coming in the upright, the way that you're able to do that is by going back to your childhood, and you might have to journal some things out when it comes to your past here, Pisces. The things that hurt you, why you are the way that you are. Taking a look at yourself, you possibly haven't looked at yourself in a photo in a very long time. There's something with photos is very significant with you, Pisces, where you may not have a lot of pictures from your past. Okay? Or you may not like looking at them because it brings traumatic experiences, but you were to take a look at it. Okay? If you do have photos, if you know one is lying around somewhere, or if a family member has a photo, I would advise for you to get that photo or look at a photo of yourself when you was a kid. Because the way that you're able to learn how to integrate and work with the both of them, accepting, a lot of it has to do with accepting both aspects. I'm talking here to a Pisces that's been very conflicted, whether it be light or dark, shadow, light, whatever. It all stems from your childhood when it comes to finding out, accepting, okay? With the Seven of Cups here, you have all the elements here and all the resources to be able to figure this out when it comes to your inner duality. And the way that you're working on something, you're stepping into this new beginning, the way that you're going to be able to step into this new beginning is finding your inner duality, accepting it, and once you actually combine it together, sorry, kind of itched around my mouth. Combining it together, you'll be able to continue to work on what you need to work on. And however, it will start progressing. Like if you're trying to step into a new timeline, and it's going to speed up once you find that acceptance with your light and your shadow and combining it as one. And once you combine it as one, things will start to speed up. But you have all the resources and the elements to be able to do this. With the Wheel of Fortune, things are going in your favor. They're going in your favor due to you working on your inner duality, due to doing some shadow work. I do see here in the future, if you have not started this process already, things are going to start looking up in your favor. All right? You might have been born in the year of the snake, possibly. Somebody here is born in the year of the snake or is on a cusp between an Aries and a Pisces. That's what my intuition is telling me. All right? Somebody here is really working on themselves. You got the King of Cups here. Listen, the more that you are stepping into this inner duality and this dual energy, you're going to be more empathetic. You're going to be more loving. And you may have not even been loving in the past. You have a very loving side to you, but I feel like it didn't show for a little bit of time because of the things that you've been through, Pisces. But I see like a really good outcome once you figure this out. You are confused. You better stop being confused, and you better, whatever road that you're choosing to step into, whatever, like, stop being at a crossroads. All right? You're going to be able to move forward once you figure this out, that you have to integrate them, your shadow and your light. All right. What is that? I'm trying to figure out. My neighbors be nosy as fuck. Because every time I'm doing these reads, there's always somebody opening a door. All right. Yeah, no, this is you. You're coming out in your own read, Pisces, with the water card. Okay? Or what that could be, that's you. Okay, that's you and your thoughts. I feel like you was in your thoughts because you don't know. It's like you're at a standstill with yourself. Whether to, trying to figure out how you can integrate both your light and your shadow, and how to be like, it's like self-awareness as you're going through like shadow work as well. You're in your thoughts. I feel like I can't even get this message. I'm having a hard time getting your message out. Like, I feel like it's coming out silly because you're in your thoughts too much, Pisces. You're in your thoughts too much. Okay? Because you don't know where to start or how to integrate both your light and your dark, your dual energy. But you need to take a look. Jeez. This how much you in your thoughts. That shit just jumped out with all these cards. Pisces. I'm waiting for whoever's in that hallway to like get a life. Because somebody keeps opening the door and closing it. I'm always having people in my business 10-10 on the timer. My neighbors are my biggest fans. All right. Let me get one more on this shadow message. This is a shadow message to integrate with your light. One more. Sun. You are in your sun energy right now. Okay? With the full card. New beginning, sun energy. Listen. You're tapping into source. Okay? And it may have taken a while for you to tap into to tap into this energy, Pisces. But some way, like, the more that you're doing shadow work and the more that you're trying to understand yourself, you're gaining a lot of strength. And that's what the sun card, that's the reason why it's coming out. and you're feeling Apollo had to come back in my lap because you being silly. Suppression is your shadow message. And listen, I don't want to hear that this is not your shadow. A lot of times we don't think that we have these shadows and we end up projecting. Okay? So, but if you know that you're working on this shadow, Pisces, and this is not the message for you. This is somebody here that does not know that they're projecting and that doesn't know that this is one of their shadows as well. So suppression, express, don't suppress. Authenticity is freeing. Restraint, repression, and censorship. Listen, you may have felt like you weren't able to express yourself growing up, okay? Where you felt like also who you were was being suppressed as well from like individuals. I'm getting here, it's like adults felt like they had to suppress you in some type of way to make you feel like this small, Pisces. Okay? And if you did something wrong, I feel like there was possibly like a masculine or a feminine of hierarchy that was in your, or like your energy that made you feel like you weren't able to be who you were, or made you feel very conflicting of being different. Like you possibly are different, but the way that you grew up, you always felt like you was being picked on and you couldn't be yourself. So I feel like possibly you was wearing a mask for a while. Okay? Possibly you wore a mask for a while in regards to who you are individually. But that's fine. Okay? Like, you have to work on that suppressed energy. Obsession. Listen, Pisces. Scorpios can also be obsessed. But I also feel like sometimes it can be a good, this is where the inner duality also comes in as well. Okay? Because sometimes obsession, we can be obsessed with work. We can be obsessed with like certain things that we're trying to get done. So not all obsession can be bad. Okay? Release the chains of thought and free your mind. I feel like this is linking into your thoughts. This is linking into your thoughts. You may be somebody here that really taps into your thoughts and dwells on certain situations. And it can become very obsessive as you're thinking these thoughts. But a lot of it can be illusion as well. Okay, so it's fixation, compulsion, and preoccupation. Okay? A lot of times, and I feel like the obsession is coming out because you may be obsessing over the inner duality and how you can, integrate that. But you have to release yourself from these chains. So that way you could free your mind, free your spirit, free your mind, body, and soul, Pisces. Okay, that's the reason why that's coming out. It has to do with the inner duality, with you obsessing over certain thoughts that a lot of it can be illusion as well, but I know you, Pisces. You possibly are obsessing over certain thoughts here, and you're isolating. You possibly are isolating yourself into these thoughts and suppressing yourself at this time. So it's basically you taking things from your childhood because you learned how to suppress you learn how to suppress yourself, and you also learn how to obsess when you was a kid, possibly alone in your room because of certain individuals. Possibly it was a mom or a dad or just somebody of hierarchy here that made you feel suppressed, and when you were doing that you was in your thoughts. So that's where it goes back to the Six of Cups here, where you need to take a look at your childhood and you need to face certain things head on. Get a picture of yourself and really look at it. Then you'll find who you are. You release yourself from these chains, Pisces. All right. One more. And then Pisces, we done. I'm trying to get this to like 20 minutes, but we'll see. That one to come up. The in-between. This is you feeling like you at a crossroads and living in between both worlds of your light and your shadow. However, you don't live in, like, you need to balance it out. It's all about balance. Become one. Integrate them. Okay, it's like you're looking at two different, if you wear glasses, you're looking at it in two different perspectives. I feel like take the glasses off, get an updated prescription. Somebody here does need to get an updated prescription. All right. And you'll be able to see clearly. Maybe you just need to take the glasses off altogether. But they're not really glasses is what I'm talking about. They're like these illusion pair of scripts that you're wearing that's making you feel like you have to pick one or the other. You don't have to pick one or the other. You gotta integrate it. Okay? Pisces, that's it for you. It was only supposed to be a short message. I guess it is a short message, though. This was very straightforward. There's a lot going on outside. I don't know if somebody's having a party. Alright, Pisces, if it does resonate, please let me know in the comments or like and subscribe. Peace out, guys.